What's up, SAT freaks, geeks, and fiends? I keep trying this. It still sounds stupid as hell. Anyway, Ayo, let's go. Hey guys, welcome to another day, another SAT Solve Live. I'm about to get into the SAT practice test on the College Board Blue Book, the SAT practice test number 4. Today, I'll be going right into it. And I'm basically closing up. I'm wrapping up my whole SAT Solve Live series. I'm very close to finishing off everything except for right now April 2022 and May 2022. Those are the only ones remaining after this one and practice test number 2. At the moment, I don't want to get into April 2022 and May 2022. I just have too many things to do. But I will at least finish everything before March 2022. Everything before March 2022. And that should be, I'll be pretty happy about that. I'm going to be pretty chuffed about that. So I'm going to get right into it now. Let's go. This is a strategy recap for those of you who are new to these streams. Just want to say how I will be approaching this test, okay? A lot of times you'll be hearing tips and tricks telling you, oh, look at the questions first, blah, 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 blah. How does Saul do it, okay? How well does it actually work? Well, how I do it is I read the passage first. I try to read it well enough that I can actually remember the main transitions. I kind of like signpost like my transitions along the way, and by the end of it, I should have a decent map of the passage. Like I know, which ideas came out at the top left, the middle left, bottom left, top right, middle right, bottom right side of the page, right? Out of these various parts of the page, I kind of know where the ideas came out. That's my map of the passage. And then going into the questions one by one, I read the question stem and I do not jump right into A, B, C, D. I do not go right into process elimination. I think that's one of the worst strategies ever. Okay, I think it really harms a lot of your scores. I mean, so instead, what I do is I predict using my map. Okay, using my memory of the passage. I try to predict what the answer is first. If I can't remember the answer right away, then I will use my map to go and find the spot where I am, like usually 90% of the time, I know where the answer is because my map is good enough. I don't need to look at the answer choices to tell me where the answer is. I jump right to it, and then I go back to the question stem. I complete my prediction for that question, and then I go into the answer choices, and then I select the one that's similar to my prediction, okay? Now, sometimes this doesn't always work out that cleanly, so that is where I do process elimination. But process elimination is a strategy of last resort. It's not my main strategy, okay? And so that's the main thing I want to emphasize here. It's not my main strategy. Now, that is how I do it. Now, how well does it work? Well, you can be the judge of that. But if you see all my previous streams, you can notice how I apply this strategy. And sometimes I apply it more aggressively. Sometimes I'm more conservative about it. And you can see how well I actually do on these tests. All right. So today I'm going to get into SAT practice test number 4. It's a little early for me, and like right now, my body feels a little sluggish, but I think so. At least in terms of like my articulation and stuff like that, my voice, I feel like I'm gonna be a little. What's the word? 맑지 않다. That's Korean, but I'm not gonna be. My voice is not as the clarion bell. Calling forth the morning. It's not like that. Right now, it's sort of muddled and messy right now. So just excuse me for the sort of rushed streaming. All right, I'm about to get right into practice test number 4. I just realized I didn't even set up the thing yet, so I need to go find it. Practice test number Oh, these are the ones that were removed. Yeah. So I did practice test one, right? For sure. Let me go. Let me go. It says annotated, but it's not annotated. What? I don't even remember this passage. Do I need to do 1 and 3 again? Okay. Sorry, I'm just gonna deal with this later. Practice test number 4. Oops, wrong one. What? This is just a score. Oh, dude. Okay, well, guys, I need to go and find the actual files. So give me a sec. I need to go find the files. This is not a problem I anticipated. I'd forgotten that practice tests number 2 and 4 were actually, what do you call them? Like not real. Oh, I'm not even showing you my screen, and there we go. So right now, you're looking at my desktop, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with these practice tests. We've removed practice tests 2 and 4. You know, maybe I don't need to do 2 and 4. Hey, then in that case, I will take down this stream. And then just go straight into April and May, but kind of wish we could get practice tests 2 and 4. College Board SAT. Why did they remove them? Yo, I missed these. Yo. Strange. Take the test in one sitting. Review mistake. All right. Hey, I gotta get out of here. All right, let me. You know, I might have to just skip. I can't find them, right? So, how come we can't find them? I see. 2 and 4 were a little unusual. Hey, you can find them. There we go. Finally. Okay. Took a while. That was took such a while just to get through that. Okay, let me just save this to my, what do you call it? Official SAT practice test 2. And 4. I'm just looking, right now what I'm doing is I'm just doing practice test 2, and 4. Ew. Okay. Okay, you know what? Forget it. I got what I needed, right? I got what I needed. So I'm moving on. Let's move on. All right, here we go. So it took me a while to just process all that, but I'm about to get into it. Is this a DMCA issue? I'm not sure what this is, but worst case scenario, this video gets taken down. College Board, am I doing something wrong? I don't really know. Please don't be overly strict. I don't mind taking this video down, but just please don't do crazy things to me. I'm just a teacher trying to help kids for free on the internet. Please let me do so. Please do not take legal action against me. Okay, so I'm going to get into this now. Okay. Hang on. Oh, wrong one. That's not what I wanted. This is 4. Okay. So here we go. Took me a little while just to get started, but now we're getting going. Stopwatch is ready. Guided access is started. 3, 2. Oh, I talked about I did my strategy recap. Then I spent like 10 minutes just looking for these tests. Now I'm about to get right into it. Just double checking. Okay, didn't forget anything. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. 1897, the narrator, a scientist, has set off for the North Pole in a balloon. Cool. My emotions are complicated, not readily verifiable. I feel vast yearning, pleasure, pain. I am certain of the consummation of this yearning. Because he doesn't understand the yearning. There's some sort of truth. My motives are not clear to me. Why am I even doing this? For this moment, for years, right? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm helpless, carried toward I'm carried. He's passive right now. Towards a uninhabited, hostile part of the earth. Dangerous. Nobody has succeeded. Many have died. Okay, it's kind of a transition. Why am I so intent? Can you eat it? Will it carry you? It's not useful at all. To the soul? Adam and Eve out of the garden. So knowledge is an answer right now. And what is there? There's nothing. It's featureless. It's an abstraction. It's mathematical. It's a fiction. Only a Swedish madman. That's who he is. Cities of men. That's kind of cool, little wording. With their teacups and bedsteads. Okay. The ghosts of Bering. Franklin, DeLong. People who have died, I think. Oh, okay, so here we go. He's learning who he himself is. I am a madman. Okay, he's challenging and surrendering to his egotism. 330. That's kind of not, yeah, I see why. I think this passage is not really representative of the SAT, so it's kind of unusual. But anyway. It's unusual because the conflict is internal, and the conflict is a little easy. It's just narrated. It's not like a literary. It's not like a. It's not like a. It's not like modern lit, where we have a sort of like an impression of some sort of conflict of some sort or some sort of character. You know, it's just a guy who's just going through his thought process. It's a little easy, is basically what it is. So I wouldn't necessarily use. I don't think it's bad. I think it's good to use for for younger students probably. For this passage, that's my comment. Okay, here we go. My real quick comment on the passage. Okay, here's my map of the passage. Map of the passage. First paragraph, left column top. Left column top. We have left column top. Left column top? He feels like he's crazy or something. Oh, the whole left column top and left column middle, so left top, left middle, is basically just him being like, I don't even know why I'm going. I don't know why I'm going. Then bottom left, top right, wow, this is so, because he is kind of repetitive. Bottom left, top right is, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. And maybe even there's nothing there. No, that's not bottom left, top right. It's dangerous. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep going with that. Right middle? What happens in the right middle? Right middle, what happens in right middle? Second column, middle. The Swedes, the reason why, right? So there's this whole thing about, I don't know why I'm doing it. The people say something, there's been some people that said something about how there's this, it's like something ethereal or something like something to do with the soul. That's where, that comes down the middle of the right side. And he says, I'm not sure that's true, but he refers to this whole idea of this thirst for knowledge and makes a reference to Adam and Eve. That's the right middle. And the right bottom talks about, now I go forth. Bottom right and moving to the third column, it talks about, now I go forth in where the ghosts of these previous explorers have gone. And I realized that I'm not really searching for the North Pole. I'm searching for myself. I'm coming to know myself. And I am a madman. It's a pretty simple story, honestly. I wouldn't give myself an A+ for that. So what is the grade I would give my own map of the passage? I would give myself like a B+, but or maybe even A-, maybe. But I'm going to say B+ just because I'm lacking a lot of detail. No, I'm going to give myself B because I'm lacking a lot of detail, but at least I got all the pieces there, right? I think I got all the pieces there. There's just not a lot to remember, and I guess I wasn't that interested when I was reading it. It was just sort of whatever. Like it was just sort of whatever. All right, here we go. That's my map of the passage. You'll see how I use it when I make these predictions. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Oh. Over the course of the passage, he shifts from kind of bewilderment to like realization. Nope. Yep. The best evidence, I guess close to the end, right? I'm looking at 56, 57, but basically the doctor was right. All right, I forgot about the doctor. I now see, this is the best part, 56 to 58, or 56 to 57, yeah, that's correct. I had one no-look answer out of 2. I had one no-look answer. Not readily verifiable, most nearly means cannot be confirmed, cannot be confirmed. Okay, my emotions cannot be understood, sure, 435. The sentence in 10 to 13 mainly serves to 10 to 13. For years, this has relentlessly pushed me here. So, okay, mainly serves to do what? I'm just making a prediction really quickly. What's up, Leroy? Mainly serves to emphasize how relentless his desire is. Okay. Yep, that was a no-look answer. I mean, I had to look at the sentence, but I could predict the answer. I didn't have to do process elimination. That's not a no-look answer, I guess. The narrator indicates that many previous explorers have died. Okay, that's no-look answer. Okay, 2 no-look answers so far. Which choice provides the... Oh, come on. Bottom left or top right? Bottom left or top right? Nobody has... Yep. 2021. Oh, dude, stop. Oh, God, I hate it when it does this. You see how this circle, like, moved to the left? I need to, like... $535, okay, and then I got 2021, so that's 550 right now. 553, 2, 1, let's go. 550. All right, here we go. Which choice best describes the narrator's view of his expedition to the North Pole? It's a little crazy. Necessary. Inevitable is right. Necessary is kind of an awkward word, but I think... Yeah, I mean, kind of awkward word, but yeah. Should I go back to this? Maybe. I feel a little awkward about it. I'm gonna circle it. Was that a no-look answer? That was a no-look answer. Another no-look answer. The question he asks in 3031 most nearly implies. Okay, so 3031. Will it carry you? No. So is it useful at all to you? Is it useful at all to you? Most nearly implies that the North Pole does not, reaching the North Pole has no benefit. Exactly. Okay, 50. Takes the slightest interest. 49. No one could take the slightest interest in it. No one but this crazy person could want to have curiosity about it. Sure. Oh my God, this is way too easy. I'm finishing this in 7 minutes. Bearing, 50 bearing. Carrying. Yeah, carrying us northward. Taking us, pushing us. Yes, exactly. 720. Oh my God, how many questions? Stop. I'm gonna pause really quickly. I don't usually pause after. I don't usually pause after a question, but the set of questions. But look at this, man. 7 minutes and 25 seconds. This is way too fast. You know why? This is too easy. How many 15-second questions did I do? I did so many Dude, that was 25 seconds. That was 25 seconds. That was 15 seconds. That was 45 seconds. That was 15 seconds, 15 seconds, 25 seconds, 35 seconds, 20 seconds, and then 15 seconds. Holy crap. There was not a single one. That was way too fast. And even the reading was 3 minutes 30. Anyway, what I mean by way too fast is I didn't go way too fast. It's just the passage was too easy. So I see why they at least should have removed this passage. This passage is not good. It's too easy. But maybe for like if you're like an 8th grade or 9th grade, this is a good passage to kind of work with, get through. You know, just build up. Or if you're scoring low, maybe if you're scoring low, then this is a good passage just to kind of get used to the SAT. Jordan, what's up? Now moving on to passage 2, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. The inversion. What's the great inversion and the future of the American city? Sure. Yeah. Aaron Halt is a urbanologist. The city's the development. Sure. Inversion is a phenomenon that describes the rearrangement of living patterns. What the hell is so broad? Okay, but sure. What does that mean? What kind of rearrangement, right? What kind of rearrangement? We are not witnessing the abandonment of the suburbs, okay? Or the movement of millions. Movement to the city, okay. This is the reverse of white flight or whatever we talked about. I don't know the word for that actually. Suburbanization. Stampede to the cities. Okay, the news was mixed. Okay. East Coast, large cities gained, but Midwest losed. Gains in overall were in the south and southwest. This, I assume, is urbanized. It's the reverse. They don't really define this, but it's supposed to be moved back to the city. So, right now, census versus a closer look are two different things. The hell? Okay, African Americans were leaving the cities and immigrants were moving into suburbs, which sounds very similar to each other. It's very confusing organization here. Central city areas that gleaned Dude, this is too much data with not a lot of organization. I'm like lost. There's no way I'm gonna remember all this. Holy crap, dude. This is like poorly written. I would say this is poorly written. Not many young professionals move to new downtown areas. The hell, dude? That was a garbled mess. What am I supposed to even pay attention to, dude? Fiscal problems. What is there a single focus that I'm supposed to be? Oh my god, what the hell am I supposed to be reading? Many of them the result of public pension obligations. Okay, sure. Some, Chicago prominent among them, are not producing enough revenue. Okay. How the cities, I do not know. What I do know is that it's going to drive affluent professional out of the central cities. But it hasn't. Okay, finally, the truth. Thank you. Outward migration of the affluent is coming to an end. The suburbanization is coming to an end. Okay, but I thought you were saying the opposite of that. I'm fucking confused. This is actually pissing me off now. Much of our perspective on the process of metropolitan development and where we live from, we're suddenly moving into history. We define 4 suburban zones: central business, manufacturing, industrial, and okay. He was right about 1925 of 74. They had a downtown, commercial, factory, working class, and then suburbs. He was true at the time. He was right at the time. This is interesting, at least. Okay, this is like a little qualification. Moved ahead by moving farther out, but in the past decade, there's still downtown commercial districts, but there's no factory. No factory, no factories. Okay, the affluent are coming in. Bro, what the hell? Dude, that took me so long just to read because I don't know what the... Okay, so far. Dude, I do not understand that first paragraph. Holy crap. How am I gonna, okay, dude, it's just so much random data that doesn't feel connected. Okay, population shares, sure. Growth rate by large metro. Large metro generally went up in the last couple decades. Okay. The larger it is, the more it grew in all 3 decades. Sure. But interestingly, it might be slowing down. This is the most recent numbers, right? It might be slowing down. Oh, no. Yeah. Or something like that. I'm kind of confused, but sure. Dude, I'm not happy about this passage. Okay, here we go. Map of the passage. Yeah, what is going on? What is going on? It was hard to focus because he was okay, anyway, here's the map of the passage. You'll see what's in my head in a sec. Map of the passage. There's no top left actually. It's actually top right because the first column is on the right side. So first column top, the results were mixed. Okay. So the right now the word is supposed to be, what's it called? The word is I forgot the word. You know what? I'm gonna look at the word because demographic inversion. Sorry. Okay, so I just need to look that up because I don't want to keep using some sort of weird placeholder word. I'll use the real word. So demographic inversion is not defined, which makes it extremely confusing, but I assume that what it means is reverse suburbanization, okay? Suburbanization where people used to move out from the city, and demographic inversion is when they come back into the city. That's what I assume that it means, but it's not clear. But anyway, demographic inversion, I'm gonna tell you what my assumption is. I might be wrong. There's a small chance I'm wrong, okay? But I'm gonna just go with it, okay? So that's my demographic inversion. I'm gonna call it DI for now, for short. DI, if you look at census data, the results are mixed. That's the top of that column. Middle of that column goes into, yeah, but census data is it's a little blunt, okay? It's not very clear from census data. So when you look at the closer data, what you find is you get African Americans moving out, you get out of the central cities, you get immigrant communities moving to the suburbs, which sounds a lot like African Americans moving out of the central cities. It's like confusingly, the parallel structure in that sentence is extremely confusing, but whatever. And then we have the young professionals who are they're inside the cities and something like that. And then because of maybe the recession, there's not a lot of housing that's built, so it just gets maintained or whatever. And then shockingly, I'm remembering a lot of the data. But then if the recession bounces, if we dip out of the recession, then there's no reason to assume it won't come back to normal, right? That's the middle of that column. The bottom of that column talks about something, for the love of God, I have no idea anymore. I forgot. And then second column, it talks about, second column, I don't remember. At the top of the second column, I do not remember. The middle of the second column, it starts talking about a theory. Oh, so it's like right in front of me, so I'm changing the page. The middle of the second column is talking about some sort of theory that was proposed like historically back decades ago by this guy who theorized that there's 4 districts to analyze the city. There's the commercial, there's the industrial with the immigrant. Wait, I'm missing one. But there's commercial, industrial, the immigrant enclaves, and then like the affluent suburbs. Okay, that might be the 4, or the industrial and the immigrant enclaves could be one together, and then I might be missing one. Okay, I might be missing another one. Not entirely sure. I need to go and double check that. So that's the middle of the left column, and then the bottom of the left column is actually a graph. So I'm going to move on, and the top right says something about how it was true back in the 1920s. It was even true later on with a minor qualification. It was still true even later on, but now the idea of an industrial zone is basically gone. Okay, and that's the middle of the right column. It's just gone, so it's no longer true. Now we have DI, now we have people coming back to the city, something like that, which sounds extremely contradictory with the first paragraph, honestly. It's with the first column. So it's extremely confusing for me to hold this all in my head, because there was not, that was very weird. That was a very strange passage, honestly. So I can kind of imagine why the SAT would take this out as well. Why the College Board would take this out as well. Very unpleasant experience. That's my map of the passage. Oh, and then the graph at the bottom, the infographic at the bottom, there was a chart that shows, hang on, it shows large cities, small cities, and non-cities, so like suburbs, okay, and how they grew. And across all 3 decades of the recent decades, the large cities consistently grew the most. So that is showing DI. This is not directly touched on. This is not a direct, I can't imagine a direct connection from the passage. Like, I can't imagine a direct sentence that connects directly to the data in this infographic. They're just like parallel, okay? They're talking about the same thing, but yeah, there's not, it's not like cited in the passage. So, whew, painful. This is making me angry just to, this makes me not want to finish this test. But okay, here we go. I'm gonna solve these questions. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Yeah. Summarizing the first paragraph. Dude, how am I gonna summarize that, dude? Because it's not very clear. There's mixed. It's mixed. It's mixed. Not sure. Not reliable. Maybe, I mean, that's part of it. That's part of it. No. What? I think it's C, but that is extremely confusing. Population growth and demographic inversion, distinct phenomena. I think we got that. Are distinct phenomena, right? Because that comes out from population growth and demographic inversion are different. And demographic inversion is where people are moving back in, even though it's, I see, now I get it. No, that's the right answer. Many. Is it many? Oh. Okay, there's a lot of assumed. See, okay, that was not a good passage, but at least now I know. Like, if it's like, stop. I'm gonna explain something here. Holy crap! How long did that take me to get? That took me 2 minutes to get. Oh Jesus. Okay. This answer, okay. If I read this original article, or what was this? Was this a journal article? It's a book. It's from a book. If I read that chapter in the book, I feel like this would be pretty obvious. But the way that they edited this, there's like a bit of assumed knowledge that if you hadn't read the book or if you hadn't read that chapter, it's not exactly clear what he's exactly referring to. It was extremely confusing the way that this the first paragraph was structured to figure out what the hell we were talking about. 11C made me understand what we were talking about, but is this a good thing? No, it's one of the worst things that can happen. If you have to use the question to understand what's happening in the passage, it's better than just not understanding the passage whatsoever, but it's not a good thing. It's just a less bad thing, okay? So what happened here is not ideal. And on the SAT, the passages are well edited enough that you don't have to use the questions to understand the passage. Now, sometimes it happens because your reading abilities are not as good as mine, right? And okay, it's better if it happens later it's better later than never, right? But I also spent a dangerously long amount of time on this. 2 minutes is a long time for a question. If you look at all my past streams, 2 minutes is much longer than usually what happens. I should only ever spend 2 minutes on one question per test, max, okay? So after this, I'm gonna be extremely tight on time. I'm not gonna let myself sink more time into this passage. I'm not. Okay, strategically speaking, I might make some mistakes on this particular passage. I might, but I'm going to let myself do it because it's not worth it anymore. All right. Frustrating, but here we go. 3, 2, I'm at 1610, 1609 specifically, because that's how long it takes to press the button. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Moved away. African Americans and immigrants, but African Americans is the one that was specifically mentioned. Okay. Because maybe we're talking about rural areas as well. That's confusing as hell. 34, closest meaning to not changing. I'm sure it's talking about growth is flat. Growth is flat. Whose numbers are flat? Whose numbers are not changing? And that is static. Okay, so 1640. Whew. Which choice best financial situation? Because of the pension, I'd actually forgotten this in my map, but now I remember. The pension, it's bad. Hardship due to promises, yep. This is the pension, this is the bad. That's exactly what I predicted. Which choice provides the best? This is the top left on the second page, top left. Hang on, isn't it here? Simply are not producing enough revenue to support? Oh, well, it's at bottom right, bottom as well. Okay, 36 through 39. 36 to 38, I mean. 36 to 38. Oh my God, zoom, please. 39. Okay, there we go. 1725. So that took me 30 seconds, not bad. And I predicted the answer already, and I knew where to go. Implies that the American cities in 1974 were shaping. They were shaped. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can do a no-look answer on this one. Implies that the American cities in 1974 were conforming to the model that the theorists originally had. So had a traditional force of structure. That was a no-look answer. See, I didn't need to waste more time on that. There we go. The best evidence for the pause right there. Notice what happened. Actually, I'm going to stop pausing after this, but guys, predict that. If I didn't predict it, and if I didn't go for a no-look answer, I would have done more, I would have wasted more time doing stupid-ass process elimination. I don't know. Anyway, going on. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Best evidence, that's top right on the second page, top right. Hang on. 70. Burgess's time bore little resemblance, yet the theory essentially worked. Okay, so 77 to 79 helps. 77 to 79 helps, but I feel like this helps. Okay, 65 also helps, and it's basically correct. 65, 65, 65. Let's get 65. Ooh, we don't get 65. Ooh, awkward. What? 66. Virtually every city in the country had a downtown. The reason that 66 is a little awkward is because it's unclear which decade it's talking about, but that's the closest one. 72, 75 is not going to help, I assume. Yeah, 72, 75 is off topic for first question 16. So, and that was only 1 minute and 10 seconds. It's not the worst, but not the best either. It's kind of awkward. 68 conducted. 68 conducted. 68 conducted. 68 conducted. Come on. Oh, the life of the metropolis was conducted in the central areas. The life was conducted. Life was carried out. Life was carried out exactly 1920. Keep going. Author of the passage most likely considered the information in chart 1 to be supporting his argument. Excellent argument. I don't know about excellent, but sure. Too crude, could be true. Hang on, is this just census data? Yeah, because this is growth rates. Yo, Hey, wait, chart two or chart one or chart two? Oh, chart one or chart two? Okay, chart one. This is shares by metros. You know what? This question is bad because basically what it is it's a callback to question 13 or it's question 11. I mean, it's a callback to question 11, but it basically if you get question 11 right, you can get this one right just by kind of guessing. It's not really a great question. Moving on, chart two, 2000, 2010 were characterized by. That's the most recent one. Similar growth between cities. And then less growth. Oh, but yeah, it was less growth compared to 90s. Let me just double check. Yeah, this was less growth compared to the 90s. That's true. Okay, that was almost a no-look answer. I almost answered that without even looking at the chart. Chart 2 suggests which of the following about the population change 1990s. Which of the following about population change? Just like there was a lot of city growth. We don't know moving from. We don't know this for sure, but that could be a right answer. But yeah, lots of population growth in the cities. No, they didn't fall. It grew. Growth rates grew in the smaller cities compared to, right? It grew. Oh yeah, I would not like to teach this passage. From metropolitan to non-metropolitan. No. Yeah. I guess A is the only one that's remaining. 21, 30, 5. Continuing. Oh, dude. That was unpleasant. Frankenstein's cat. What is this? Okay, Frankenstein's cat. Whatever that means. Editing the genomes. I see. Editing the genomes. This new power, Frankenstein. Novelty pets that are brightly colored. Not a high priority. They were thinking of something more. Genetically engineered animals to save human lives. Whatever that means. How does that farming, very weird word, in which simple genetic tweaks turn into pharmaceutical factories? That sounds crazy as hell. Okay. Okay. We need proteins. We need certain proteins. These are the kinds of proteins we're talking about, and they can help treat diseases. The trouble is that it's hard to make these proteins. It's hard to make them. But dairy animals are protein producers. So the creation of the first transgenic animals. So transgenic probably means when you edit the genes. Gave scientists an idea. What if we put the gene for, transgenic, like if you change the gene, you switch over the genes from, like, if you Frankenstein them, transgenic, right? A human antibody into a cow-goated sheep. Engineer healing proteins. That's pretty dope, I guess. That's pretty crazy. Okay, this is the history. So this is just the background, right? Explaining what it is. Okay. Wow. Whew. Transgenic. We did get that. At first, this was, whoa, cool. That all changed with Atrin. Okay, Atrin is an antithrombin. Prevent life-threatening blood clots. It's made by our liver cells. A molecular bouncer of some sort, so whatever that means, sidling up to. Bounces them. Bouncer, like at a club. But as many as one in 2,000 Americans are born with this mutation that prevents them from making this antithrombin, and they're prone to clots. Okay. Antithrombin kind of scatters these clots away. GTC, that group, tried to manufacture the compound and to create with goats. A micro injection. This is a technique. It's a technique. Okay, which apparently helped with making salmon. Sure, lots of information. But this is normal. This is a normal passage. This is not a. This is a normal, but it's an information dense but normal passage. Transgenic. Remember that kids refers to goats. Kind of hard, but sure. Kids refers to the goats. Right, they had the human gene. They paired it with a promoter. Wow, that's a lot of information, honestly. Sequence of DNA that controls gene activity. Control. The promoter turned the transgene on, and then it filled it with antithrombin, and they had to collect the milk, and now we got medicine from this goat. Whew. Hit the market in 2006. First transgenic animal drug. That is pretty crazy, yo. That's pretty crazy. Yo, if anyone's a bio major, I mean, this is old research. This is 1990s, right? But so I'm sure there's been kind of interesting things. But this is crazy. This is crazy stuff that you could put for if you're doing like a extended essay, for example, for IB. This would be a cool little essay to write. If you're doing research papers on biology, it's a cool thing. Cool, but also I'm sure. No, it doesn't seem ethically that complicated. You're just putting genes in them and then letting them produce milk. I think are there ethical problems here? But anyway, that's kind of interesting. Let's get into it. Map of the passage. Map of the passage. Okay, this one's way better. This was a much better passage than the previous one. The previous one was a cluster F, but. Yes, I feel like my mic position is a little weird today. Okay, so map of the passage. Top left. Transgenic animals, genes. Frankenstein, cat. Not cat. Okay, cat. We started with cats for some reason. When we first had gene editing, we didn't want to use it on making colorful cats. We wanted to use it on something significant. Sure. That was like basically the first paragraph. And then it's still the top left, but also including the middle left now. And so what happened was we got this idea that we got this idea of creating transgenic animals, which the word comes out later, but I'm just going to use it now, where human beings have certain genes that produce lots of proteins and these proteins are there's 7 different things that are listed, but these proteins can be these kinds of 7 different things, and these are really helpful. They can actually help human beings with lots of stuff. And my map is all flipped around because there was so much information. I actually don't remember the sequence anymore. So, my left column, I have no idea what the sequence is anymore. I don't know which came first, but I'm just going to tell you what I remember, even though it's going to be not sequenced correctly. Okay. I don't know if it's on the bottom left. I don't know if it's in the middle left. I don't remember anymore. But basically, there's all this stuff that humans produce. The thing though is this is definitely bottom left going to top right, but whatever, I'm going to mix it up now. But the thing is that human beings only have a certain amount that they make, like 1 in 2,000 or something. I don't remember. Oh, no. I'm mixing things up. I'm mixing it up. Ignore the last 10 seconds. Okay, ignore the last 10 seconds. Okay. Humans create these genes, these proteins. What if we took those genes and put them in animals like cows and goats and whatnot, and then had them produce that in milk or whatever? All right. That is the middle-ish of the left column. Okay, I just got confused with some number later on. But yeah, that's like the middle-ish of the left column. And then moving towards the bottom of the left column, we get this like ATC created by a GMC, or I don't know what it is, but like there's like this A something that is a compound and this was the historical breakthrough. These fools did a big thing. The G people created this A thing, which is an antithrombin, okay? Which is an antithrombin. Now we go into describing antithrombin. And antithrombin is this thing that is like a bouncer for blood clots. It takes a blood clot and like shoos away these sort of bad things that make these bloods stick together, whatever. That's at the bottom left. Now, way bottom left, moving to the top right, now we're talking about, well, human beings, 1 out of every 2,000 human beings are actually they do not have the gene that tells the proteins to produce antithrombin. My biology is kind of weak. Do you tell proteins to produce it? Or do the genes produce the protein? I'm confused about that, okay? My biology is whack. I forgot my biology. I actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I do need to study biology a little bit for the SAT. I do, because it's slowing down my reading. So, yeah. I should study some biology. Anyway, moving on. Top right says that, and then. So what they did is they decided to produce antithrombin in goats. That's the top left moving to the middle left now. Now, starting the middle left, it talks about how in the goats, they took the human protein and they paired it with a promoter, and they jacked these goats up, and then they put it into the mom, and then the mom had these kids, and then the kids had these genes, right? And then the promoter turned. When these kids were producing milk, the promoter was like turning on the antithrombin signal, and then they were producing all this antithrombin, and amazingly, voila, we have antithrombinated goat milk. And then at the very last paragraph, it's like they were the first produce. It's just like it's not even a paragraph, I think. It's the same paragraph, but it's just like 2 or 3 sentences at the bottom of this paragraph where it just says, and in 1996 or something like that, GMC or whatever, the G people were the first to produce transgenic medicine. Whew. That was my map of the passage. I would grade myself it's pretty good, honestly. A-. It was a little sloppy. Is the main problem. But honestly, all the details, I feel like we're there. A-. So that means I'm gonna feel pretty confident just going in and just predicting all my answers, I think. So let's see how many no-look answers I can get. Whew. That was painful. All right, here we go. That was painful in a good way. That was good pain, not like the previous one, okay? The previous one was painful in a bad way. It was just like confusion. But this one was just a lot of information to hold on to in my head. But it was a good challenge. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Primary purpose is to talk about a particular breakthrough. Yeah, it's the first time it ever happened. 2615. I'm not even gonna double check all the other ones really, because I already know. Farming is positive, very positive. Is it appreciation or astonishment? Gonna go with astonishment, but let's see. And voila, human medicine. No, astonishment is not it. He's not so much surprised. Okay, that took me 2655. That was not a no-look answer. Interesting. Line 20, expert most nearly means. By the way, okay, yeah, no, 20. Our expert dairy animals are amazing protein makers. They're great protein makers, prolific protein makers. They are capable. That's kind of yeah, sure, that works. 2720. Suggests about transgenic studies. Oh, I forgot about this part. This one I don't remember. I don't remember. Ah, yeah, that's the part of the map that I missed. At first, right, this was just the, geekery. They were not expected yield products ready for human use. Maybe B. That's kind of similar. Okay, I'm gonna go and double check that. The geekery. Thought experiments, there we go. Thought experiments, that's the keyword. 36. 28, 10. So that makes me confident in both my answers. Moving on. Antithrombin. It is let's see if I can do a no-look answer. It's basically the bouncer. It reduces the compounds. That might be true, but I think it doesn't it doesn't stop it from happening. It actually breaks it up. No. Okay, I guess it must be A, but I'm gonna need evidence for this, so I cannot do a no-look answer. Okay, the compound, it acts as sidling up to the compounds and escorting them out. I see. It does prevent them. Oh, so I actually misunderstood it. It doesn't scatter them. It actually prevents the compounds from creating blood clots in the first place. Okay, it doesn't scatter the blood clots themselves. So I actually misunderstood it. It's at the bottom left, 42, 44. That is correct. Okay, 29, 20. Okay, it turns out my map of the passage was not A minus. It was definitely like B plus. Which of the following does the author suggest that the female goats mentioned? Female goats? Oh, they were the moms. Some were not born. Probably some were not born. That's actually a decent inference that we can make. I'm pretty sure about that. Some were... Yeah, that's exactly correct. Yep, that's what I was... Now, that was not a no-look answer, but I already knew where to look, right? So I need to have a word for that as well, actually. The most likely purpose of the parenthetical information, 63, 64. Okay, I zoned out for a second because I was thinking about something else. It's a definition. It's a definition of the promoter. It helps to define a term. Okay, 30, 25. Liquid gold. Suggests that liquid gold is going to be used to describe the atrin, right? But okay, yeah, I'm not 100% sure anymore. So atrin is what? Where's liquid gold? Oh, for this company, it was liquid gold. It made a lot of money. Yeah. It made them a lot of money. For this company, 30, 55. Stop. I think these days, that kind of phrase would be pretty politically sensitive. If you talk about big pharma companies making liquid gold like hella money, then that becomes a little bit sketchy in today's political landscape, because people are going to be like, yeah, but they're vampires. So not the wisest word choice these days. Now, before I move on to the next passage, I just want to say something really quickly. Over here, I've just done 3 passages. So this is my pace check. I did 3 passages in 31 minutes. Normally, my advice is try to hit 3 passages in 35 minutes. 35 minutes is just to get you an idea of what 35 minutes looks like. It's like 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and 13 minutes. That's 35 minutes. What that allows you to do is it allows you to do the next 2 passages, 15 minutes each, okay? Because oftentimes the 4th and 5th passages are harder, oftentimes. So 35 minutes is a good benchmark. I am doing well under 35 minutes because some of these passages are a little too easy, especially the first one. And hang on, how much time did I spend on this third one? 21:35 to 30, 35. Oh, that literally only took me 10 minutes to do, which is pretty insane. That was because I took my time reading the passage, but the passage itself wasn't even long. Now it was a little dense, but it wasn't long. And I was able to use my map of the passage to get through really fast. Now I have almost 35 minutes, 34 minutes to finish this test. This is really good. On a test, if you're this fast, you're doing really well. Okay, so that's the pacing check. I want to take a quick break now. 3 passages, pace check, and then take a quick break. I'll be right back in 5 minutes after I because I keep talking, right? It's a little tiring while also taking a test. That's pretty tiring. I want to just refresh my brain and get ready to do the 4th and 5th passages. I'll be right back. Hey, what's up? All right, let's take another break for 2 more minutes. If you guys want to ask questions, you can ask questions. Oh, dude, I am. This test so far has been a little. it's been a little intense because first passage was like way too easy, and second passage was just like hard to read, just hard to read. I don't think the questions were too hard, but I had to use the questions to figure out what the passage was saying, because it was hard to read. And then the third passage was pretty good. But the questions only took me 10 minutes. The whole thing only took me 10 minutes. Yeah, I guess because I was basically predicting all the answers. How many no-look answers did I even get? I wasn't keeping track. All right. I'm just a little pooped that was tiring to talk that much and navigate all those ups and downs. But so I think for the fourth and fifth passage, I might talk a little less because I'm exhausted. But hopefully, I'll still be able to get you guys through my thought process. All right, let's get started. I'm at 31 minutes. We're going to passage 4. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Reflections on the Revolution in France and Thomas Paine. This is going to be fun. Thomas Paine and Edmund Burke, it's like work. I'm like tired right now. Okay. Inconstancy, versatility. Versatility is a bad thing in this case. Inconstancy is worse than obstinacy. We have consecrated the state. The state is designed to avoid inconstancy and versatility. No man should approach to look into its defects or corruptions, but with due caution. I see. We designed the state to avoid inconstancy, like changing too much. So no man should criticize, okay? No man should criticize the state except with caution. You should not try to subvert the state. You should have awe and solicitude. You should respect the state. This is a wise prejudice. We're supposed to respect the state of their country who are prompt rashly to hack the parent into pieces. Right. It's like France is hacking their own parent to pieces with weeds and incantations. Okay. Very colorful language here. It took me a while to process, but got it. Society is indeed a contract. Okay, it's a different metaphor. It's a different metaphor. Now we're not talking about it as a parent. Subordinate contracts may be dissolved, but the state is not a subordinate contract. It's a very important contract. It's not like a trade agreement, okay? It's not a low concern. It has to have reference. So see, again, this is a repetition of the same idea, but just a different framework, different framing. It's not a partnership in things subservient only to the gross animal existence of a temporary person. Okay, it's not some sort of animal partnership that's temporary. It's a partnership in all science, all art, every virtue, all profession. It's like the greatest partnership of all, greatest contract of all. As the ends of such, and it's a partnership. Wow, this is actually kind of beautiful. Not only between those who are living, but between those who are dead as well, and those who are to be born. It's a partnership between all generations. That's what a state is. That's a beautiful argument, dude. The municipal corporations of the universal kingdom are not morally at liberty at their pleasure to dissolve it. I was looking for the word to separate it, to dissolve it. We're not at liberty to separate and dissolve it. Okay. Wow, that's hard, but sure. Okay, 35:10. So it took me, 4 minutes just to read that? This is such an unbalanced test. So easy and that's so hard. Every age and generation must be as free to act for itself in all cases. Free to act for itself. So Thomas Paine is very for the French Revolution. The vanity and presumption of governing beyond the grave is the most insolent of all tyrannies. I see. So this is actually a rebuttal of the argument that I thought was kind of beautiful. Man has no property in man. Neither has any generation of property in generations which are to follow. Yeah. That's directly arguing the previous part. The Parliament of the people of 1688 or of any other period has no more right to dispose of the people of the present day. So 1688 in present day, then the Parliament of the people of the present day, of the people in the future. Every generation must be competent to the purposes which its occasion, its time, okay, its specific period requires. It's the living, not the dead, that are to be accommodated. So he's repeating himself right now. So this is going to be really hard for me to map out. It's always just sort of one part of the map for me. His power and want cease with him, having no longer any participation. Those who have quitted the world, okay, the dead, then those who are not yet arrived are remote from each other. What obligation can exist between them? There is no obligation between them. The circumstances are continually changing. So this is an actual transition. The world is different, okay? So I guess in this one, I would focus on the idea of a competency, and the other one, I would focus on the word of the obligation and the circumstances. Okay. Who is to decide when the world is changing? Okay. Yep. Competency and obligation. Sure. 38:05 and stop and map of the passage. 2 passages. I gotta map them out. 1 column each. Let me just put the screen somewhere else so you can't see. Here we go. Whew. Passage 1. Top right of the first page. Top right of the first page. Yo, let's go. Top right of the first page. The state has been designed to avoid inconstancy. To avoid inconstancy. And so, when people want to criticize it, they should do it with due caution. Because when you criticize it, you're trying to change it, right? So actually, let me simplify this in simple words. The state has been designed to avoid changing too quickly, too much. So when people criticize it to try to change it, they should be very, very cautious. They should treat it with reverence, like a child should treat their parents with reverence. That's the top right. Now, moving to the middle right, it says, so when there are children who try to hack it to pieces, that is a terrible, terrible thing. He's referring to France. He's referring to the French Revolution. Continue with the middle right, but now we're getting, it's the middle right still. He says, he changes the metaphor to now contract. The state is a social contract. It is the most important. It is the most elevated of social contracts. It's not like an animal contract. It's not like a trade contract of talking about which spices. It's not a subordinate contract. It's the most elevated one. That's the middle right, basically. The bottom right says, we should show reverence to this elevated contract, basically, but I don't remember what else it says. I think that's all it really says, but I might be missing something. Excuse me. Just super tired. Okay. Super tired. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all it says. Can't remember any further. Oh, no. I can't believe I almost missed this. At the bottom right, it moves to what I thought was a beautiful part of the essay, of the speech, I mean. He says, not only that, it's a contract that cannot be fulfilled over even many generations. It's a very, it's a very deep contract, right? And so it binds us to respect the state across many generations. It's a contract between not just me and my present people, but all people. Something like that. Between those of the past and those of the future. Okay, that's the map of the passage for the first passage. Map of the passage for the second passage. Here we go. Effing ridiculous. No one has a right to any other man. Everyone should be free to choose according to their own circumstances. No generation has a right to another. I'm kind of blending the first two paragraphs together right now because it's kind of a jumble. But basically, no one has any right to a future generation. Just like how, so basically, people from the 1600s have no right to our present generation to choose for us, and just like how people from the present generation have no right to choose for people hundreds of years or 1,000 years hence. Okay, that's the first two paragraphs. Is top left on the second page. Middle left moves into talking about competence. Everyone in each of their generations, everyone should be competent to figure out their own matters. That's my summary of that particular paragraph. And then still in the middle, but going towards the bottom, next paragraph. And there is no obligation between multiple generations. There's no obligation. The dead are not obligated to the not yet living, and the not yet living are not obligated to the dead. Bottom of the left side. Now it says, bottom of the left side. Sorry, I just lost track. Oh, what does this bottom of the left side said? I actually forgot it. Bottom of the left. It says something about I don't remember. But overall, the whole argument is that circumstances change. Bottom left says circumstances change. Yeah. Circumstances change, so who's the best to decide? Of course, in the new circumstances, the people who are suffering those circumstances. This is actually a really classic argument. These two arguments are really classic arguments for and against conservatism, political conservatism. Not like the Republican Party conservative, but just like political conservatism. It's like a broad level conservatism. So so Thomas Paine is a liberal. I mean, which makes sense because he's in America and he's trying to break out. He's fighting for a revolution. So it makes sense that Thomas Paine is on the opposite side of Burke. Okay, guys, I'm about to get into it. Let's go into the questions. Here we go. 3. Oh, and I didn't grade my map of the passage, but if I were to grade my map of the passage, I would give it a... That's pretty good. I got everything, actually. That's A+. That's A+. I got everything. I don't think I missed anything. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Contract between a person and society differs from other contracts because it's not brief. It goes long and it's most important. Yeah, that's exactly what I predicted. No look answer, number 1. State most nearly refers to, country. Yeah, actually that's a no look answer. Ooh, that's risky, but I know, because he's talking about the state. And 22, low most nearly means, I don't know, so I have to go back and look, line 22. Of low concern, of material concern, of straightforward daily concern, of petty concern. Petty is a little too negative, but he is being pretty negative, I guess. He is being pretty negative, so I guess that works. 3905. That's not a no-look answer. I got 2 no-look answers. It can most reasonably be inferred from passage 2 that he views historical precedents as not binding. Yep. Largely is a little strong, but yeah, not binding. Yep. That's no-look answer number 3. I got 3 no-look answers out of 4. Okay, how would Paine most likely respond to Burke's statement in 3034? So Burke makes a statement in 3034. I got to double check. As the ends of a... Oh yeah, no. He's like, ridiculous. Patently ridiculous. No meaningful links between the dead, living, and unborn. Yep. That is basically correct. I'm just going to double check the other ones because this is kind of, I want to do process of elimination a little bit. Okay, 4015. Patently ridiculous. Basically, for the the whole passage, there's no link between the dead, living. This is all over the passage. This is actually hard to predict where it's going to come from. You know what? For this, I don't even know where to look, so I'm going to go 41. I'm going to go process elimination. That kind of works. 43. That also kind of works. What? No meaningful links. Okay, I'm going to look for meaningful links. No meaningful links. So A and B do not work. 56. No meaningful links. Okay, it's only tangential. 67, no meaningful links. Okay, no meaningful obligation. Actually, I should have predicted that. Whoa, I should have predicted that. Stop. I should have predicted that. What the hell, dude? I looked at no meaningful links, and I even knew that obligation was in my map, and I should have said, I should have just connected the two. I don't know why I didn't do that. See, I know it still only took me a minute, so this is not bad. But for me, this is bad. I should have predicted this, and I should have saved probably 40 seconds on this question. This should have taken me 20 seconds maximum. Oh my God. Okay. Kay, what's up, Kay? Going on. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Welcome to the stream. Which choice best describes how Burke would most likely have reacted to Paine's remarks? In the final paragraph. Okay, no look answer. I can do this. The final paragraph, he says that circumstances change. And what Burke would say is government is designed to resist change. Yes. 4150. No look answer. Yo. Best evidence, it's the first no-look answer. Hell yeah. It's lines 1 through 4. I already know it. It's the first sentence. It's to avoid inconsistency. I tell you, I'm gonna get a really high. I'm gonna get those right even without looking. Which choice best states the relationship between the two passages? Passage 2 disagrees with one of the fundamental assumptions about passage 1. I mean, it's not the primary, but okay. I guess okay, that one's kind of easy, but it's easy because it's a little inexact. It's a little broad. Okay. 40 to 35. The main purpose of the passage is to I just zoned out. Oh, is to argue for how changeability, argue for and against change of government. Okay, a way to resolve a struggle. They're not suggesting ways. No, they're not suggesting ways. Discuss the relationship between. Yes, they are discussing the relationship between people. I'm going to do process elimination though. Evaluate the consequences of rapid political change. No, not consequences, not duties. Okay. Yep. That was a no-look answer, but it also was process elimination. I had to use process elimination for that one. Okay, there we go. Now moving on to... So, dude, I got so many no-look answers on that one. Did I get at least 5? I think I got at least 5 on that, if not like 7. All right. Here we go. The passage is adapted from Gramling, Source of Mysterious Medieval Eruption. Okay, medieval eruption. The source has been identified. Okay, the source has been identified. 750 years ago, a volcano erupted. Okay, this is kicking off the Little Ice Age. The volcano has been tricky. The volcano, we did not know this volcano. Sometime in the Middle Ages, it's written in the ice cores in the form of sulfate deposits and volcanic glass. Okay, so this is the evidence thus far sent into the stratosphere. Sulfur. Ranks the strongest eruptions of the current epoch, the Holocene. The Holocene is the current epoch. Reflecting solar, right. It's kind of a interesting, it's like sequenced a little weird. Kind of, it would have been better if that was earlier in the paragraph, but sure. 44:55. Okay. They use this technique of radiocarbon dating of dead plant material on Baffin Island and Iceland. These are the locations. Ice and sediment core data. Oh, as well as ice and sediment core data. And it happened between these 2 years and intensified between, hang on, so is that 750 years ago? That is 750 years ago. I mean, more than, no, 750 years ago, exactly 750 years. Such a sudden onset pointed to a huge volcanic eruption. So that's pointed, wait, that's the actual conclusion? Oh no, sorry, that's not the conclusion. Starting the cooling, subsequently on, this is, all he did was strengthening the link, I see. Ah, now we get a new guy. Oh, okay, I was misreading. There's a new guy that comes out. So he just strengthened the link. He just sort of confirmed the original hypothesis. Subsequent large and frequent eruptions helped may have prolonged the thing. Now think they've identified the volcano. The Samalas. Here's the culprit. They're using historical records. What does historical records mean? Written, oh, whoa, it's not geological, it's actually anthropological. Cool. What the heck is going on here? Oh, with. Oh, I didn't see the word with. Okay, I grammatically got lost. That sometimes happens to me. That I grammatically misread a sentence, and it makes me lose time. That usually happens when I'm trying to rush reading the sentence. That happens. The researchers then began to reconstruct the heart. What's up? Heart passage. In the history passage? No, dude, I predicted all of them. You should rewind and look back at how I killed it. That we'll score it at the end of this test. The researchers then began to reconstruct the formation of the large caldera. Oh, cool. They did a reconstruction. Okay, so they did anthropological. Oh, yo, this is such dope science. That now sits atop the volcano. Examine 130 outcrops on the flanks of the volcano. What are outcrops? I don't know what outcrops are. Exposing sequences of pumice, ash, and other pyroclastic material. Hang on. They reconstructed it? That now sits atop. The volume of. What does reconstructing mean in this context? But I don't get it, but whatever, all right. 4830. Radiocarbon analyses. Wow, they did all sorts of things. Okay, so they did historical records, they did reconstruction, they also did radiocarbon analyses on the carbonized tree trunks within the power plant to confirm the date. It cannot have happened. It certainly happened within. So it's basically between and 99, right? 1299. Okay, now we're going to discussion. Not a total surprise, Miller says. Equatorial is consistent with the amount of impact, because I guess at the equator it has a stronger, because it appears on both. Yeah, because it hits both sides. It hits the north and the south. Another possible candidate, alternative hypothesis. Didn't match the chemical composition of glass on the polar ice cores, whereas Somalis gas is much closer. Okay, and this is a refutation of that alternative hypothesis. Year without summer. There was a year without summer, yeah. That's actually kind of cool. And that must have come out in, I think there's literature that actually reflects that, right? Ah, dude. That's actually really cool history. Oh, sorry. I got to continue reading. Estimated temperature. This is the very end of the 1600s. Very end of the 1600s. Wait, what the hell is going on? Wasn't I supposed to be looking at the 13th century? What the shit? So that's over here. Oh, I guess this drop. Okay, we're actually looking here. I see. Oh, whoa, that would have, if I rushed to that, I would have been very confused. Okay. So the more recent thing is is a random thing that happened. I see. I guess this whole thing is the Little Ice Age, according to this graph. It's kind of confusing, but that's 51 minutes now. I'm just rereading it. All right, stop. And I'm going to my map of the passage so you know what's in my brain, okay? Okay, sorry, I'm not going to look at it. It's top left. Top left. Top left is, that was a little intense and I'm a little tired, but top left is, so hang on, let me just get the gist, okay? First, there's a phenomenon. Then there is a first study that strengthens the hypothesis. Okay, there's a phenomenon hypothesis. Then there's a first study, And then there's the main study that we're focusing on that starts at the bottom. Okay, there we go. That's the gist. Now let's go back to the map of the passage. Top left is the phenomenon, which is the Little Ice Age, which was set off by volcanoes, something like that, right? And the hypothesis is volcanoes. And the problem is we don't know which volcano, what the source is, okay? It's a little broad, okay, but that's roughly what the top left is talking about. Now, moving towards the middle left, moving in the middle left, oh, and by the way, in the top left, it also talks about how like sulfur kind of comes up and then the ice cores and something. And I don't remember all the details of that, but sulfur and ice cores, that's what I remember, okay? And there might be other pieces of evidence, but I don't fully remember. Or at least maybe the sulfur and the ice cores might be related or they might not be related, but I don't know, okay? I don't remember that part of the passage. Now, middle of the left column, it talks about how first experiment. Some dude, was it GM? I think GM, the guy named GM, strengthened this hypothesis by doing radiocarbon dating. And a second technique, I think. There was a second technique. I forgot what the second technique was. But he looked at some stuff and found out that, basically true, volcanoes. But he didn't identify the location, okay? Then, bottom of the left column, we get FM or somebody. Frank? Was it a Frank? I think F guy. And this F guy, he finds out that it is from the Indonesian S Mountains. Sumatran Mountains, am I right? The S Mountains, okay? The S Mountains are responsible. And this fool started with the historical record of the people, that they kind of recorded a sort of volcanic event that devastated the people. Okay, that's the bottom left. Now, top right. They also did, I think, radiocarbon date. No, they did a reconstruction. Very bottom left to the top right, they did a reconstruction of the volcano where they measured the deposits that are around the volcano, the crater of the volcano. So I guess they reconstruct what they mean by reconstructing that. What's the word? It's like a crater, but I forget the word for it. But they reconstructed the crater where the volcano would be. I guess that just means that they went to the site and they kind of imagined where the circle would be. And then they looked at the perimeter, I think, and they picked up the deposits or whatever, the ash or something. And then they kind of did some sort of analysis on it. That's how I understood it. And they confirmed that it had to be between 1257. No. And then there was a third piece of data. I forget what the third piece of data was now. They did some sort of analysis. I think it was some sort of chemical analysis of something, but I don't remember anymore. But there was a third piece of data, and they determined that it was between 1257 and 1299. Whew, that's the top right. Now, middle right, it talks about, it gets into a discussion about how, I'm trying to remember. It's not super surprising. That's what it was. It's not super surprising because of its location. It's equatorial. It hit both sides, the North Pole and the South Pole. We can see this in the ice caps. And then the bottom right, final paragraph is the alternative hypothesis. Maybe it's not the Indonesian one. Maybe it's like this other mountain somewhere. I forget where it was. But it can't, or according to this researcher, it can't be because the shards, the glass shards that you find do not match this other volcano, but it does match the Indonesian volcano. Map of the passage, I'm going to grade myself. I'm going to grade myself an A-. The only reason I'm not giving myself an A+ or A is because I kind of lost track of what types of evidence they were looking at and what kinds of methods they were using, okay? Because there was, honestly, to be honest, there was a lot of types of evidence, and it was a little. I mean, for me, I'm not a geological scientist. I'm not like an earth sciences person. I'm not really good with that. So I believe that there are people out there in the world who are better with these details, who will remember it better than me because they just know it more, right? So I do not want to give myself A+ for that. That said, it's a lot. It's a lot. And if you're not good at earth sciences, then it's very unlikely for you to get an A+ too, and that's okay. You only need like a B or B+ to be able to predict the answers to these questions. You only need to be at that level where you kind of roughly know the map of the passage, and that is still good enough to predict the answers to these questions. Okay, and that's all you really need. All right, here we go. Let's finish off the passage. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Logistical, technical issues. Okay, here we go. Main purpose is to describe a process that proves a volcano was the source. Not Sumatra, Samalas. Okay. 51:30. No look answer, number 1. That's the first no look answer. Over the course of the passage, the focus shifts from hypothesis to first background to a theory, background to study, background to a study. I mean, I guess that's kind of a weird way of saying that. Yo, B is not the best. I feel like actually, guys, stop. I've been noticing on at least maybe on the recent tests. When I say recent tests, I mean it's actually the older tests because recently I've been streaming the older tests. But in some of these, and maybe even the more like newer tests too, I have no idea. But I feel like the focus shifts from the what's the name for this? There's a specific name for this, but basically, I'm going to use my own word for this. But basically, when there's a question that asks you for the rhetorical structure of the overall passage, the big picture rhetorical structure of the passage, I feel like the answer choices are not that great. I've seen the old SATs, I've seen the LSATs, and they all ask some form of this question. Okay, it's not just this SAT that asks this question, but the word choices on these are pretty weak a lot of times. Compared to other tests. So I didn't used to complain too much, honestly, about the old SAT when I used to teach that, because I used to think it was a very tightly written test. And I still think the new SAT is very tightly written, but this particular type of question, I just disagree with a lot of the answer word choices. I'm not happy with these word choices. Because it's too broad. I mean, it's accurate, but it's not precise. And so I wish they were a little more precise with these. Questions. Anyway, sorry, just minor little rant, and let's continue. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Best evidence for the previous. Hang on, what was the answer? To its likely cause. A description of the recorded event to its likely cause. So we're looking for the likely cause being transitioned. So let's look for the likely cause. I guess 33, 35 is what I'm looking for. Okay, process elimination, because I don't know what the heck they're talking about. It's a weird question, honestly. No, 17 to 25 is just random background. 43. The researchers began. Nope, that's just a specific part of the experiment. 46 to 48. No, also random part of the experiment. 55. Another random part of the experiment. Study, I mean. It's not an experiment, it's a study. But anyway, whatever. 1725. What the shit? I'm going to come back to this. What? 53, 30. What? The hell just happened there? Okay. Maybe I'm misreading something. The author uses the phrase is written in, line 6. Oh, okay. It's a metaphorical thing, and it's written in. It's evidenced in. Okay, demonstrate the concept. No. Evidence is there. Okay, 54 minutes. Here we go. That took me 30 seconds. Medieval. Oh, Indonesia. 5410. No look answer. Was that my second no look answer or my third? Best evidence. Oh my God, it's so easy. It's bottom left. And if we want to get near the equator, then we want to get the over here. 61 through 64. 61, 64. I'm going to look for that first. Yep, that's exactly correct, because we're trying to get near the equator. 54, 35. That was 25 seconds. Another possible candidate, 68. Oh, implies that there are other hypotheses of yeah, I guess it's a little broad, but that works. It's a little imprecise, but that works. Was that a no-look answer? That was a no-look answer. No-look answer with a little bit of process elimination, but dude, that took me forever to write. Which choice best supports the claim that Kilotoa was not responsible? It's the last paragraph. It's the last paragraph. I mean, I can basically circle it before even looking. It's the last paragraph, 71, 75. Yeah. That's correct. That was almost a no-look answer. According to data in the figure, greatest below average temperature variation in the 1600s, right? This is a no-look answer. I don't even need to. I really am not going to look at it. I already know. The passage and the figure are in agreement that the onset. I'm trying to blow your minds, you little kids, you little insecure kids with your constant process elimination and not reading the damn fucking. I'm trying not to curse. Not reading the damn thing. That's still cursing, but it's minor cursing. The passage and the figure are in agreement that the onset of the Little Ice Age began. They are in agreement that it began in the 1300s. Hang on. Just before 1300? Yeah, that's 750. Yeah. That's all. I mean, that is also a no-look answer. See, notice how fast these questions go. As long as I mean, that was including me talking to you guys and making fun of you guys. The statement is best supported by. That took me 40 seconds, even though I also took like a 15-second break just to make fun of you guys. Which statement is best supported by the data? The data presented to the figure shows that there is a little ice age that begins, but actually the dip happens several hundred years later. No, it does not support the hypothesis okay. The greatest cooling occurred 100 years after. Exactly. No-look answer for all three infographic questions. No-look answer. I am the GOAT. Okay, I'm kidding. I'm not going to say that. My bad. I'm sorry. All right. I do need to go and double check a couple questions. There are a couple questions I want to double check. Here we go. His expedition, necessary is such a weird word there, but let me look at immoral. No. It's not beneficial. It's not important. It's just random. It's absurd, but it's necessary. Yeah. I mean, just sort of process elimination, that's the correct answer. And I'm pretty confident with that, so I'm going to move on. This is extra time. I'm doing my extra time, and I do it in green just to clarify that I had to come back and double check. Oh, wait, I forgot to write the time. So that was 50. It's right now 58, so I'm going to call that 57:45. Okay. Where are we? Okay, yeah. Oh, right. Okay, so I didn't have any doubts on any of the other passages, just these two now. Over the course of the passage, focus shifts from. Let's look at this first one, 1725. A team of scientists strengthen the link between... No, this is just a random strengthening. That's such a strange... But I guess this is the beginning of... 1725 is the beginning of where we talk about the actual studies, right? Okay, so its likely cause, to its likely cause, I guess strengthen the link between the mystery eruption and by using radiocarbon dating. It's like a recorded event. Okay, a recorded event which was written in the polar ice cores sometime in the Middle Ages. Dude, this is not a good question. This is, I think this is the type of question they actually removed. Like they started rewriting. Okay, A is just wrong. Ice core samples, there's so many methods that C makes no sense. It's only comparing two things for some reason. Dude, that's also, D is the same, wrong for the same reason. So only 17 works because 43 and onward are just very specific pieces of the experiment design or the design of the study. So very weird, very weird. 60, 35. Okay, and I'm done. But I think that was a bad question. So let's see if I'm right at all, and then make further final judgments. Okay, so now moving on to scoring. All right, here we go. Scoring. Oh, I need to pull it up. SAT streaming. All right, let's score. 1 through 3, I chose CDD. Oh, I need to scroll down. CDD. 4 through 7, I chose CAAB. CAAB were correct. Then I chose DDA. DDA are correct. I got 10 for 10. '11 to 13, CDA. CDA are correct. Then BACC. BACC are correct. And then ABAA, ABAD, it says. Okay, so A was wrong for the thing that I noticed. We don't know about where they came from, but it grew more in the 1990s than the 1980s. The only way to 100% know that? That's a bad question. I mean, logically, it's hard to... United States population by metropolitan size and status. I guess from this part, and non-metro means all other. Right? If we assume that that's true, then we know that for sure. I think it's a little mean. I think it's the kind of inference that I feel like it's a little mean to test, because how can you be sure of that? You know, it's a little uncomfortable. Like there's these graphs can be written in pretty, they can use these words, but they also can mean much more limited things. So I think it's a little mean, but I accept that D is a clear right answer and A is potentially wrong. But I would say that if you got this one wrong, don't sweat it. It's not something that's like too, I think it's a little messed up that they did that, that they asked that question that way. Okay, 22, I chose A. CCBC, cool. ABBD, cool. D, cool. So how many is that? Is that 10 questions? That is 10 questions? Oh, I forgot to do this. I got 10 out of 11 here, and I got 10 out of 10 here. Okay, here we go. I chose DDAD, cool. And then BDD, cool. And AAB, and it says DAB. Boo. So I got 9 out of 10. But let's look at what happened here. The best evidence for 38, I mean. Changing conditions are insufficient justification for changes in government. 34 to 38. The hell? How is that connected? And the last word in 38 is community. That's supposed to defend changing conditions are insufficient justification for changing the government, changing conditions. See, constancy and versatility at least refers to conditions. But here, where's the conditions? The municipal corporations of the universe are not morally obligated to contingent improvement. Contingent improvement is the closest thing to changing conditions. I don't accept this answer choice. No. It's not great evidence. In fact, if anything, I would actually argue that this is better. I mean, to avoid the evils of inconstancy, versatility, 10,000, we have consecrated the state. Yeah, honestly, A is more. There's actually no 100% direct evidence for D in the passage, but I would say A is better than D. I reject that. I reject that answer. I'll take that 9 out of 10 and keep my dignity. Okay, 42. Here we go. 42. CB. ADAD, cool. And then I chose CDC, and then BA. 50 out of 52. Oh, sorry, CDC, BA. So I got 10 out of 10. I got 10 out of 10 on this one. Yeah, 11 out of 11 on this one. 50 out of 52. I got 2 wrong. One of them is kind of iffy, but I accept. The other one I actually just straight out reject because I think it's just a bad question. So that's my conclusion on those 2 questions. This passage, I think Let me answer this question. I think this is an important question for this particular practice test. Is this practice test worth doing? Is it so bad that the SAT, that when the College Board removes it, that like it means that you shouldn't use it for practice like at all? I just think if you are a student and you don't know what is typical for the SAT, you will get thrown off a little bit because some of these questions are not representative of the SAT. That's true. But if you are doing this after watching me take the test and you know which parts I got stuck on, or not after, if you watch this stream as well, right? If you're going to take this test, but you're going to watch the stream as well, then you're going to have a good sense of what I think are not representative of the test. And, I think I'm pretty accurate. So if you trust me, then you can sort of use me as a guideline to sort of decide whether you should stress out about a question or not, a question that you got wrong or not. Like, if you notice all the ones that I got right and the reasoning I got right, and you compare the reasoning by which I got them right, and you compare your reasoning and your reasoning was faulty, then yeah, that's still worth learning from. But if you notice the ones that I got right, but I was like, man, that's still a bad question, but I still got it right, and then you got it wrong, then maybe you shouldn't worry so much about it because you got kind of trapped in this sort of weird situation. And then maybe some of these questions, this one question that I got wrong, that I actually refuse, that I reject the answer key about. I think you don't have to worry about that whatsoever. I don't think it's worth stressing out about. So those are some of my impressions on this test, and just want to remind you guys, have fun while studying the SAT. Remember that it's just maybe it's just a small part of your overall picture of you as an applicant to colleges. It's just a small picture demonstrating your academic competence. That's all it is. So on the reading test, remember too that you actually should be growing as a reader. You're not just learning hopefully you're not just learning stupid tips and tricks and then just like doing a bunch of guesswork. I hope you're actually improving on your reading as your practice for the SATs. Now I'm looking at the questions. I kind of caught up to these questions a little late, but Jordan, you're asking me how frequently do I stream? I try to stream every day between Tuesday and Saturday. I try, but starting next week, my stream schedule will be drastically changed because I'm going to be entering the summer term, and I'm going to be teaching in the summer. Which means I'm going to be very busy. Now, I have a couple ideas for what kinds of stuff to stream during the summer. Okay, one idea is to stream like little mini lectures that are based on the things that I'm doing in class. Okay, that's one idea. It might not be so much streaming. It might be, no, I don't think I have the time to edit videos during the summer. It'll be way too intense for me to edit videos during the summer, but I might do like little stream chats. Another idea is doing office hours during the summer. That's pretty easy for me to do. It doesn't stress me out to imagine, like on Tuesdays and Thursdays during the summer, I have office hours where people can just ask me questions, right? So that's another idea. A third idea is doing like a little mini course. I'm thinking it would be a paid course, but I wouldn't make it super expensive. But I do need some sort of, I think for this, I would actually need some compensation because I need to actually plan this and like spend a lot of energy on this. But I'm thinking of doing a course, not for the SAT, because I think the world doesn't really study the SAT except for China and Korea. During the summer, I feel like most people do not study the SAT except for like China and Korea, that's kind of my suspicion. So all of like YouTube viewers, if you are actually studying for the SAT during the summer, please let me know. That would really help. And Vietnam, sure. Yeah, Vietnam, cool. But basically in Asia, right? I say Korea and China because they're huge in terms of the number of students that they're sending abroad to the United States schools. But sorry, I mean all of East Asia, really. I actually am not even sure if Indian students are studying SAT for the entire summer. Like I don't know I know Indian culture has the cram school culture as well, but I don't know if they use up the entire summer for it, like the Koreans and Chinese kids do. So my suspicion is that you YouTube viewers do not really need more SAT content from me during the summer.
That's my suspicion, but you guys let me know if that's true or not. Because here's my paid course idea. My other idea for the summer is to do a paid course. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it as affordable as possible, but a paid course where I basically what it is college application writing. It's not college admissions consulting is not my expertise, but I am a good writer, and I know how to write. I have ideas for how to structure a writing course where you guys can share ideas and brainstorm and test out different drafts to see what kinds of ideas you can put out on the page that could turn into your college applications for your senior year. So that's one idea that I have. If any of these ideas appeal to you, please let me know, because I'm trying to figure out what to do with my summer on YouTube. Okay, so that's just to answer Jordan's question. I try to stream every day in the off season, okay, where I'm not teaching like a full course load. So that's summer. I will not be able to stream every day, but starting in the fall, I'll be trying to stream every day. Okay, again, Tuesday through Saturday because my weekend is Sunday, Monday. Okay, so that's the answer to Jordan's question. Going back to, hey, what's up, Amaze? I didn't see that earlier, but hey, what's up? Can I solve the 12th March International? No, I cannot. March International is not a QAS. It's not a release test. So it is protected by the College Board because the College Board is very likely to reuse it in a future test. So if I were to somehow get my hands on the March International, that would be illegal for me to even get, and it would be illegal for me to share, and it would also be what do you call it? So I won't be able to do that. It'd be illegal. Oh, and also the other problem is that if I do share it, what will happen is that'll basically be cheating. It will help kids because some kids in the future, when they take like a future test, are very likely to see the March International test. So by the way, I continue to disagree with the College Board. They should release every single test and they should never reuse tests, right? That's my personal policy. I think that would reduce the cheating and it would also help kids study better, but it's the College Board policy. I disagree with the policy, but they're doing what they do. 1430, Hart got a 1430, 800 math, so that's 630. You're struggling in reading. Hart, I don't know if you watched the very beginning of the stream, but at the very beginning of the stream, I talk about my strategy. I do a strategy recap, okay? Now, if you don't have time right away, I'm gonna write timestamps. Oh shit, I have to go, it's 11:30. Okay. You know what, oh my God, I cannot believe it's 11:30. Guys, I need to send a message to somebody that I'm late. Holy crap. Oh my God. I thought it would be like 11. I thought it'd be like 11. Oh my God, I was not paying attention to time. Okay, give me a second. I need to message somebody. Okay, thankfully. Oh, sorry guys. Wow, I did not realize it was 11:30. So just to finish off these finish off these questions real quickly. What the hell? Okay, so I will not be able to do timestamps right now, okay? But I'm gonna do timestamps for this video like sometime today. But going back to Hart Collin, your question, Hart, go back to the beginning of the stream, okay? Even if I don't have to do the timestamps, just go back to the very beginning. And I do a strategy recap where I explain what my strategy is. If you do not do something similar to me, okay, and if you have a 630 and I get like an 800, right? I want you to just first copy me. Just copy me first, okay? I'm not saying that the way I do things is exactly the 100% most optimal way. But what I do know is I'm getting a better score than you, right? And that's what you know too. I'm getting a better score than you. So just copy me and see what happens. One of the key features of the way that I do it is that I take a lot more time. If you actually take a stopwatch and actually do the same thing I do, where you track how much time you spend, I guarantee you're probably, right? First, you do that whole skim the questions first thing that like everyone does. Terrible. But then you go to the passage, and then how fast do you read the passage? 3 minutes, 4 minutes? You read it faster than I do. I actually probably read it slower than you do. Probably, okay? Most kids are like that. And then what happens on the questions? That's where you lose all your time compared to me. Read my strategy recap, listen to my strategy recap, understand what my strategy is, watch a couple streams where I'm like actually doing it so you can actually see what it looks like, because I'm not just describing it. I'm not describing something that's totally different from what I'm actually doing. They're actually pretty, like what I'm saying and what I'm doing are very similar, okay? So check it out and then copy me and then come back to the stream in the future and let me know how it worked, okay? A lot of kids, I've only been streaming for a couple months now and I only have 270-ish subscribers. But even though I'm a tiny YouTuber with zero influence right now, well, not zero, with minor influence in the whole grand scheme of YouTube, even me, I've already gotten more than a dozen kids that tell me, oh, Saul, the moment I switched over to your strategy, my score jumped up. Their scores jump, okay? So yeah, try changing up your strategy just by copying me, and then after you copy me, then you can tweak it until it works better for you. Jordan, thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, copy what works, okay? A lot of people, they tell you what to do, but they don't make it easy for you to copy what they do, right? So copy what works. K likes the writing course. Yeah, Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I also know that, Kay. I know that there's a dozen kids who've told me that their scores have jumped, but that probably means that there's at least 3 dozen kids whose scores have improved, and they're just not saying it because it's less dramatic or they're more shy, right? So I'm definitely, guys. I intend to be the best SAT teacher in the world. So it's gonna, and not just the SAT teacher, I'm gonna be the best reading teacher in the world. So I'm gonna do things that are not just SAT as well. I'm gonna do ACT in the future. I'm gonna do GREs and LSAT, which are harder, but I'm gonna do these other tests as well. So it's part of the grand plan to take over the world of reading. And you're right now at the very beginning of the journey as a very sucky YouTuber that makes a lot of technical errors all the time. But now I really need to go. I have to run off to my appointment. Guys, thanks for the questions. Thanks for the engagement. Love it. I know your summers are all beginning now. So I'm actually really kind of not clear. Like, I feel like my gut feeling says suddenly no one's going to watch my streams anymore during the summer. But let me know what kind of content would make you want to come back during the summer. Like, what kind of content would you actually watch during the summer? Because if it's not, I assume it's not going to be SAT really. So I assume if it's not SAT, it's going to be college application stuff. Maybe, I don't know, but I don't really know what works. So let me know what would actually be helpful for you. You can leave that in the comments below, or you can even I think you can even use the chat box even after I finish the stream. So wherever you put it, I'll review it later on. All right, guys, keep on growing. No matter what happens, just keep on growing little by little every day, and everything will follow. See you guys. Peace.